Hey, how's it going, guys? I watched Ahsoka yesterday. I just watched episode 1 and episode 2. I was excited for the show, man. As you guys know, I was looking forward to it. I watched it late, so I didn't watch any reviews or anything like that, but I saw some thumbnails saying, Ahsoka saved Star Wars. Thank you, Dave Filoni. I think those two are actually from Star Wars Theory. But a whole bunch of other different people, at least the thumbnails, were showing that they really liked the show. I didn't. I did not. To my disappointment, I did not like it. It started off, I was excited, man. The red crawl, the music, I was getting hyped. Like, okay, this is going to be good. This is Dave Filoni. This is his characters. This is going to be an awesome show. Because I recently finished Rebels, right? So, and I liked Rebels. So I'm expecting that type of tone, more mature actually, in live action, on screen, right? And then when I jumped over to Ahsoka, she didn't talk for quite a bit. She was doing this whole Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones type thing, going out, trying to figure out where this map is, trying to find the map. And it was cool. She didn't talk. That really set the tone. The music was good. She comes up, she fights these droids. That looked cool. But this show was not good, dude. It started off okay. It looked a bit cheap, but come on, it's Disney Plus. It's not movie quality. We're never going to get that prequel quality back. Okay, we're never even going to get just visual quality. We're not going to get even the sequel trilogy, right? I mean, sequel trilogy, it looked good. Okay, despite anything else, it looked good. But this show, okay. I don't want to spend too much time on the way it looked because it was passable. I mean, it is more than passable. It was fine. There were some parts that looked really cheap, but there were shots that actually looked really good, like the shot of Balin's apprentice in the grass fields with the scouter droid next to her. Those, like, that looked cool. Balin and his apprentice were the most interesting aspects of the show, in my opinion. But can I even call this the Ahsoka show? This is more like the Sabine show. Okay? This is not the Ahsoka show. At least these first 2 episodes, it's like I'm watching the Sabine show. Come on. I would have expected this to be primarily about Ahsoka because this is Dave Filoni. The show is called Ahsoka, right? This is not... And it's a woman, so it's not like, hey, they're trying to do their whole message thing. Like with the Mandalorian, they're trying to make it so, hey, it's the Mandalorian. It's not just Din Djarin, it's the Mandalorian. So it could be about any Mandalorian, right? So Bo-Katan is now the Mandalorian, right? And you know what happened with Season 3. You know my opinions on Season 3. So what are they doing here? Why call the show Ahsoka when you're spending more time with Sabine? Sabine is having more character development in these 2 episodes than Ahsoka. And I saw people talking about this as well. And it did stick out to me in this show, right? People were talking about this in the other Disney Star Wars TV shows, but it stuck out to me in this show. The acting is stiff. There's no real emotion. And from Ahsoka, I saw a bit of that in Rebels, but the voice actor, her voice is very animated, okay? And the thing is, I know Rosario Dawson can pull off an awesome Ahsoka, but it feels dull. The acting feels stiff on literally almost every character. Sabine doesn't act like Sabine. Hera doesn't act like Hera. I don't have too much problem with Hera because she's the minor character. She's like a side character in the show. But Sabine is not acting like Sabine. I'm annoyed with her character, to be honest. When she got stabbed, I was clapping, dude. And her character was cool in Rebels. But somehow, these 2 episodes made me hate Sabine. Well, because when I'm watching it, I don't see Sabine. I see they turned her into one of those annoying female power type characters. And she was nothing like that in Rebels. I was literally clapping when she got stabbed. And we're talking about her stab. She got stabbed like Qui-gon Jinn. What's up with all these characters getting stabbed by a lightsaber and surviving completely fine? Reva and now Sabine. Put some respect on Qui-Gon Jinn, all right?
We are no Jedi.
This guy's alive, right? He's got to be. That's the only logical conclusion after seeing that, right? At least the lightsabers looked a bit better. The lightsabers did look better. Looked better than Kenobi. Still, nowhere near the lightsabers in the prequel trilogy. But they did look better, okay? I'll say that. the choreography, better than the Kenobi series, but again, nowhere near the prequel trilogy. This is Star Wars canon, okay? I don't care if the budget is $1. It's Star Wars canon. So I'm going to be looking at it like official Star Wars canon. You know what I mean? So I'm going to compare lightsaber fights in this to lightsaber fights in the prequel trilogy, okay? Because it's canon. Oh, man. Because it's canon, they got to put more effort. The music was good, though. I enjoyed the music. The whole production was decently fine. It was fine. It was good. Okay, I won't complain. I know it's not a movie budget, but it was good. It wasn't bad. I mean, Andor looked a whole lot better, but this wasn't bad. Okay, but it was boring, dude. My brother literally fell asleep by the second episode. Granted, he never watched Rebels, but what even happened in the second episode? Nothing happened in that episode. Okay, what happened? They opened up the map. Sabine is now joined forces with Ahsoka. What else? What else significant happened? Like nothing. Okay, dude, come on. I expected a whole lot better. Coming from Dave Filoni. People are saying Star Wars is saved after this. This is another mediocre Disney Star Wars. This is bad. I don't like this, okay? I expected a whole lot. I shouldn't have expected more. I should have expected Disney Star Wars. That's what I should have expected. But because Dave Filoni is in the name, no wonder they released that trailer with Anakin. Because they knew these first two episodes are going to be like... After the first episode, I was like, the only reason I'm watching episode 2 right now is because it's right there. I don't really care to watch episode 2. I mean, I will watch all the episodes because I'm a Star Wars fan. And I do YouTube. I'm going to do a review. I'm going to do reviews on it, all right? So, but I'm not expecting anything great. They were smart putting out that Hayden Christensen trailer because... My brother said, literally the only reason I will continue watching the show is because I want to see Hayden Christensen. All right, so let's talk about Thrawn, all right? At the end of Rebels, you had Ezra holding Thrawn up against the ship, right? He's using the Force on both sides, mimicking his master, Kanan, how he passed away. And all the windows are broken. They get blasted off into hyperspace. How is Ezra and Thrawn going to survive? They're exposed to space, to a hyperspace. They're hurtling through hyperspace with no barrier. They shouldn't survive. But, I mean, based off the trailers, Thrawn's alive. So maybe Ezra's alive as well. Okay? Now they have this map that supposedly shows where Thrawn is. How do you know where Thrawn is? Where is this map pointing to? The pathway to Paradia? What is this? The bridge to Terabithia's cousin? What? I don't know. Then okay, I'm not making fun of the name. Path to Terabithia or where? Path to Peridia? That's a cool name. It sounds cool. Okay? Wherever that is, I don't know. It sounds cool. Pathway to Peridia sounds cool. But dude, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed with this because I was hoping this was going to be good. But this pathway to Peridia, why do they think Thrawn is there? Why would they think Thrawn is... Why would they think wherever this map is pointing to is where Thrawn is? Why? I don't know. Maybe I missed something. Let me know. But, dude, I don't know what he say. I don't know what to say. This was disappointing. This was a letdown. I will say that Inquisitor with the knight-looking armor, he looks cool. Everything, like I said, everything with Balin and his apprentice, That was the most interesting thing. Both of them look cool. There were some shots that look cool. Regarding the story, I don't really care. The characters, like I've heard other people say, the characters are stiff. It's bland. It's boring. Sabine is annoying. This show is a letdown. So also, it was confirmed in this episode, Sabine doesn't have force abilities like a Jedi, okay? And she's training with Ezra's lightsaber. I don't remember Ezra passing his lightsaber off to Sabine. I know everybody says that it happened in Rebels, but I do not remember it. I don't remember that happening. I read some stuff to refresh my memory, and they said that Ezra gave it to Chopper, and then you can assume that it was meant for Sabine, but that's an assumption, okay? Maybe you guys can correct me on that, but from what I remember, he didn't intend for his lightsaber to be passed on to Sabine. There is nothing like that in Rebels from what I remember. Also, no way would Ezra say, "You're like a sister to me," to Sabine. He was always into her. Why would he say, "You're like a sister to me"? That came out of nowhere. So, but Sabine has his lightsaber, and why is Ahsoka training her? Why is Ahsoka calling her Padawan? She's not a Jedi. She's not force sensitive. She's just being trained to use a lightsaber. And that brings me to another point. I was just watching some footage of the prequels, okay? Watching Count Dooku versus Obi-Wan and Anakin in episode 3. Lightsabers had impact. When I saw it, it was like it's like this mystical weapon. It's a weapon that's larger than life. It's the weapon of a Jedi. Okay? When you see a lightsaber, it's like it has a weight to it, man. It's like it's special. There's some significance to it. I don't feel that in any of these Disney shows, okay? Because they look like glow sticks. They don't look nearly as good as what they did in the prequel trilogy. And now you're just handing lightsabers out to everybody who aren't even Jedis, who aren't even force sensitive. They're just wielding it. It diminishes the weapon. Okay? I don't feel anything special about it. When I see a lightsaber now, I don't care. When I saw a lightsaber in the prequel trilogy, I'm like, holy cow, I want to be a Jedi, man. I want to be that. I want to have a lightsaber. That thing is so freaking cool. Even if I don't have force powers, I just want to have a lightsaber. Okay? I mean, it spawned a whole industry of people making lightsabers. I spent $400, $500 on a lightsaber, all right? If I never watched episode 1 through 6 and I just watched these Disney shows, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care to have a lightsaber because it doesn't have that special factor to it, man. Why are we handing off lightsabers to everybody? Finn can fight with a lightsaber with absolutely no training. Now Sabine is fighting with a lightsaber. Yeah, she trained with the dark saber. But it ruins that specialness. You know what I mean? This is a weapon of a Jedi. Where is that, holy cow, you're a Jedi? Where is that? Where is that when I see a lightsaber, I'm like, whoa. I don't feel anything. There's nothing special to Star Wars anymore. And granted, this isn't Star Wars canon to me, all right? I know it's official Star Wars canon, but none of this is Star Wars canon to me. I'm let down heavily by Ahsoka, man. What did you guys think about this show? It's not as bad as Kenobi. I will say that. It's not as bad as Kenobi, but it's not good. It's not good, though. Another clarification, what we saw in the trailer that we thought was the world between worlds, it was not the world between worlds. It was just this hologram map, right? You know, when they put that orb down and it pointed to the location, right? You saw like it expand, open, and whatnot. That's not the world between worlds, right? And we saw that in the trailer. So I thought that was the world between worlds, okay? But it wasn't. It was just this hologram. It was just this map. Some positive stuff if we want to go positive. It was cool seeing Lothal, seeing that Lothal cat, seeing Chopper. I mean, just seeing these Rebels characters in live action, seeing these Rebels locations in live action is cool. It's cool, okay? But that only lasts for a bit because when we get to what the show is, all that stuff is surface level, right? Hey, the visuals there. Hey, I remember that place. I remember those people. And then once you move past that, there's nothing. I hope it gets better. I'm not expecting it to get better. So let me know, what did you guys think about this show? I feel like I'm probably going to be in the minority here of the people that didn't like it, because from what I'm seeing, I didn't see too much. But from what I'm seeing, the majority of you guys really enjoyed it, really liked it, thought Dave Filoni saved Star Wars. Not for me, man. This is Disney Star Wars. This is just another Disney Star Wars show. That's it. I'm disappointed, dude. I'm disappointed. I wasn't expecting we're going back to the prequels or the original trilogy. I wasn't expecting anything at that level. I wasn't expecting George Lucas level Star Wars. But I guess a part of me was thinking this was going to be the best Disney Star Wars show. It's not. All right, so let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What did you guys think about Ahsoka Episode 1, Episode 2? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.